My name is Shauna, and I want to welcome you back or welcome you to Toothy. My podcast is about knitting, sewing, crochet, and a little bit of dental advice at the end because I am a dental hygienist from Quebec. I also do have a license to practice in Ontario, but I'm not currently using it. I'm allowed to put that one on the side for now. We'll be talking a little bit more about knitting and a teeny tiny bit of sewing today, but that's what it is. So what am I wearing? I am wearing something that I knit last year, so I'll stand up, show you. This is the Zweg sweater by Caitlin Hunter. I think I knit it in a size 3, maybe a size 4. I'm not 100% sure anymore. It's been a while. I brought this on a camping trip, and that's where I started. Actually, I think I started in the camping trip about here, and I got like the whole color work done during that time. Loved it. So relaxing. Campfires. Chef's kiss. Love it. So I used Revolution yarn in fingering tweed, or tweed fingering. Sometimes my French tries to come through. This is a Canadian yarn. They are based in Ottawa. I think they're like more in the Orleans area, so kind of like that area. And I know that this color was Aqua Tropic, but the orange I completely forgot the name of. Oops. But I think I knit most of it to pattern. The only thing I did is I added this and a little bit of this to the bottom hem as well, just to bring that orange down just a little bit so it didn't look too out of place. I got this yarn when I went to the Yarn Twist Festival in 2025. And I saw this. It took me, so when I go to a festival, I literally stare at yarn and I stare at it and I stare at it. And then I went back to, like, I went to the same shops where I was like, okay, do I get from this place? Okay, but what color would I get? Oh my God. And then I'd go, like, I'd leave again, and then I'd come back, and then I'd leave again, and then I'd go to like a different place. And then, oh my God, like, I'm pretty sure all these people thought I was stalkers by the end. Like, ridiculous. I was ridiculous. I'm sorry. I think we all, please reassure me and tell me that we're all sort of this way. Please. So yeah. So Revolution Yarns, the person who owns it actually just opened a shop or is about to open a shop this spring or summer, called Pearls. So if you are in that area, the Ottawa area, please look them up. She is super nice. I met her at the Twist Festival last year, and yeah, she was super, super nice. If she doesn't remember me, I am the one who asked the person that was helping you that day if she wanted me to go get her water for her water bottle. I would have gotten you water too, but I didn't have an extra bottle. So I kind of felt bad about that, but anyways. This yarn has held up so well. I've washed it, worn it a good number of times now. Their yarn's average priced. Super soft. I think it was, oh my goodness, you're gonna ask me what the composition was. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But for sure, it's gonna be linked down below, her website. Have a look at the fingering merino tweed. I know there's merino in it for sure, but look for that and you'll for sure find what this is made out of. So next on the list is finished objects. I am going to start with my sewing finished object. I made myself a little bag. So I put this sweet little handle on it. And I put a little zipper so that things don't come flying out. But Okay, so if you're under 18, close your eyes for like 3.5 seconds because I thought it was funny. It's a bag for me. So I had this sitting around because my friends, okay, so I made random cushions for a couple of my friends and I had a little bit of this fabric left over. So again, if young, please close your eyes. It has good vibes. Good vibes. Yeah. I also put a little pocket on the inside, the cute little unicorn, because why not? Yeah, I made this last week because I was looking for another bag and I don't have that many. I think I only have like two go bags, and one had the sweater that my other finished object. It had that, and yeah, I'd started a different project and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have another bag. So I got bored and voila, I did that. Coffee, courtesy of the local shop around me. This is their maple. I was looking for the word maple in English. Maple hazelnut iced coffee. Delish. So that was finished object number 1. Finished object number 2 is, ta-da! It's my Frost Line cardigan by Andrea Mowry. So I'll stand up. So I made this in a size 5 because this pattern calls for worsted weight yarn, and I didn't have worsted weight on hand. I'm trying to work through my stash a little bit and then kind of like refocus on what I'm buying, where I'm buying from, and working my way to only Canadian shops and whatnot. But beside the point, because this is a Canadian yarn. But I got this pink, this beautiful, beautiful pink for Christmas from my mom. I think I said that last episode, but might be your first time here. So yeah, I got this Feelin' Peachy on Christmas, and unfortunately it was 4 balls, and then I knit up a whole sweater and realized, oh my goodness, it's gonna be too short. Frogged the whole thing, put it away, said, we're gonna see. I did contact the shop owner, and he didn't have any more either. So this is using, let's Arcane Fiber in 3 different colors, DK. So superwash merino and nylon. This is the Feelin' Peachy. Again, no longer available. And then when I knit up, when I was looking for something else to go with this peachy color, the owner of Arcane Fiber, when I emailed him, said that he would either go for like a gray or the purple, and it would work really well with it. I completely agree. So you might not be able to see it right now, but this is like a plum. I think it's even called plum. And this teal here is called Neptune's Wake. Yeah, Neptune's Wake. And I ordered 2 more of these because my mom had gotten me 4 of these balls in the Neptune's Wake. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna have enough. So I ordered 2 more, and I ordered this purple to go with the pink. So I knitted the first sweater that I had done in the original pink, but did it in this teal color because that was still available. And then I was like, okay, what am I gonna do with this, all this pink and the purple? So while I was watching Grocery Girls, yeah, Grocery Girls, who are based in Alberta. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're from Alberta. They were raving about this pattern, and I said, why not? And they also have a make along with something that's striped. So this is going to be my stripy thing that I will be entering into that little contest. Just to note, Andrea Mowry also has a make along going on involving sweaters or involving scarves, not scarves, shawls. There we go. Involving shawls. And so yeah, if you have anything of hers that you've made recently, maybe have a look and go put that in for the contest. I'm super excited to see all of your makes. So yeah, here I come, Grocery Girls. Here I come, Andrea Mowry. All right, so I really enjoyed making that. So many things that it was the first time I ever do. It's my first cardigan. I'm really proud of it. So back to how I made this. So yeah, it was supposed to be made with worsted weight, and I decided to go with DK. So I upped a size in my needles. I think the pattern calls for 4.5. I went with 5, or was it 4? And I went with 5. Anyways, and I kind of wanted it oversized. Therefore, I made the size 5. I could have done like a size 4. It would have been fine. But I felt like something a little bit more oversized to put over tank tops and whatnot for this spring, summer, whatever. So the buttons that I used, I purchased a gazillion years ago. I've been making things since my youngest was a baby. So yeah, I purchased these. They are imperfect makes. So they kind of have like random widths to them. And some of them have like different little things that were wrong with them. And so they put them in a bag and put them on their website. And I can't even remember where I got them from, to be honest. And I'm really, really sorry about that. I think it was Bonjour Handmade. I think. But if you are looking for very gorgeous things, do go check them out. Bonjour Handmade. I'll link them below as well. So I varnished these myself, and then they kind of still smell of varnish, but anyways. So yeah, this is my frost line cardigan. It was the first time I ever did anything with a button band, and it was the first time ever making buttonholes. So knit buttonholes, because yeah. So yeah, the technique to make these buttonholes was not very complicated. I mean, you make one side and then you cut the yarn, make the other side, and voila, it's pretty easy. The other thing that I slightly modified is I made the button band a little bit wider because I had these wide buttons and I didn't want it to look funny. So yeah, I think that was a good option for what I have. All right, so what am I working on? So this is a bag that I've had for a little bit. It's from Creations Judy Mary. I got this local yarn shop. I think they were having a little outdoor sale, and I got this. Love it because when you open it and set it down, it stays open. So it's a really nice thing to have, especially if you don't want balls flying all over the place. And this is where I keep my on-the-go socks. So I think I showed these last episode. These are just random yarns that I have left over from other socks. I lost the tags many, many moons ago. So I'm making these 2 at a time. Ooh, I almost lost a stitch there. On 2.5 millimeters. These are going to be for a friend. I'm just going to knit all the way through until I'm happy with the length. And then I'm going to do afterthought words, Shauna. Afterthought heel, because I've never done that before and I want to challenge myself again. I like to challenge myself. So there's this. I have this much yarn left. Worst comes to worst, I am going to make the heel out of a different color. Like I said, my friend, as long as there's green in here and there's no teal, she is a happy camper. And then, so that's whip number 1. Whip number 2 is in the bag I made. And I am using Arcane Fiberworks in Moonlight Magic. Moonlight Magic. This is a fingering sock yarn. 80-20, so 80% merino and 20% nylon superwash. 400 meters for 100 grams. And I am making my brain. Oh, why? I am making the Xyrus by Audrey Borrego Designs. There's that. So Audrey Borrego is still pretty well known, I think. She has made all of her patterns free because she doesn't offer pattern support anymore. So yeah, I'm just taking advantage of it. I loved the back of this. The little bit of lace, just amazing. I am making this in the size 3. This pattern goes from 36 inches to 67 inches bust. So it's amazingly size inclusive. That's what I was looking for. Size inclusive. So I'm using the recommended needles of 3.25. I am not very far into this project. I was at a coffee shop this morning and got rudely interrupted by my husband, who called me and said, "Can you bring our daughter her water bottle? She complained that she had a headache this morning and she forgot her water bottle at home." So yeah, I'm really not far into this. So I'm using little light bulb stitch markers for the repeat pattern. Just so that I don't get lost. I am so far liking the way that this is turning out. I think I would have liked a plain yarn instead of a variegated like this. I mean, it's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. But it is what it is. This is what I had. This came out of my stash. So yeah, it looks like I'm an Arcane Fiberworks junkie right now. My husband got me a good number of balls of yarn or hanks of yarn from them on Christmas, not this year, the year before. Yeah, something like that. The year before that, he got me a gift card for yarn from this shop. but yeah, so I do have quite a bit of their yarn at the moment. I'm slowly working through, and yeah, eventually I'll be able to knit something else. So acquisitions. Yeah, I got something. So let me reorganize myself so that I can talk about this. So, Péché Mignon. They are based in Delson, Quebec. They are a smaller shop, but their service is incredible. Currently, she's having an issue with the building that she's in. I think it's her house, or maybe where her atelier is. Excuse me. And she needed to clear some inventory because of those issues. So nothing was like water ruined or whatever, and it's just she needed space so that she can get things fixed. So she was offering a pretty good discount on a lot of her yarn, and I made eyes at my husband and say, "Can I get some, please?" And he said yes, because hey, it's half my money too. Okay, don't take it that way. We are a couple that does talk about more or less bigger purchases, just because we have that mutual respect for each other, and maybe he planned something that I didn't plan, or I saw something on the calendar that he didn't see, or anyways. So when I go and spend a good amount of money, I just give him a heads up and say, hey, is this cool right now? Are we fine? I mean, I can see our finances, but anything I'm missing before I make this purchase? So yeah, that's a sidebar. So yeah, I got so I'm unsure why this one came without a tag. I had been waiting a little bit of time for this yarn, and I sent her an email. It was pretty late even. I sent her an email and I said, hey, so I saw that it had shipped, but it's still at your shop. Like, am I seeing this correctly? Did they lose my stuff? Like, what's going on? And she almost instantly, I think within 20 minutes, messaged me back and said, hey, so because of this, it's taking a little bit more time, and one of the yarns that you had chosen, the site had actually oversold. So I'm making this for, like, I'm dyeing these right now for you. They're actually drying right now, and then they will be in the bag shipped. I was like, oh my God, you could have just told me. Like, I would have completely understood and been like, dude, just let me choose something else. That's totally fine. But she was so kind as to dye it up for me and send it. Thank you. But again, I would have been happy to choose something else. So what did I get? I got in fingering yarn. I got these. So these I'm planning on using together. I'm not sure. Pretty accurate. Yeah. There we go. So this is citrouille épicée, so pumpkin spice, basically. And this is feuillage. So feuillage was sold as a yarn with imperfections. I think the imperfections are this little bit of reddish in it. And that's why I was like, bruh, put these together. They'll be happy. They'll be happy. So on average, I use about 4 skeins for a sweater of fingering, obviously. So 400 meters for 100 grams. These are 70% superwash BFL, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. They are so nice. So nice. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be making with this yet. I don't know. And other thing that came with that is these. So a black that is called Black Magic, a red that is called Sorceress. So it's like a burgundy, yeah, dark burgundy. I think it might be showing up more brown on the camera, but trust me when I say burgundy. So these are DK weights. These are from her Witchcraft and her Tarot collections. My goodness, where has my English gone today? Like, my English, it's my first language. You could swear that my first language sometimes was French, but it's not. But I'm fully fluent in both. Anyways, so Sorceress and Black Magic. These are made of 60% superwash merino, 20% yak, and 20% silk. These two are also so soft. So soft. I also got 4 of the, well, 2 of each. In DK weight, I obviously need more than this for a sweater, so I might make myself more of a cowl, hat, mitten situation, or maybe just a hat, mitten. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, and she's so sweet. I don't know if she sends this with all of her orders, but how to take care of what I purchased. So this is her logo postcard that it comes on. Little personalized message right there. She sent not sample, swatch swatch cards, so that I could tag the swatches and put in everything. So date, what the pattern intended was for, caliber, I'm not sure, composition, color, yeah, so 3 of these, totally cool. 2 samples of soak, so yarn wash. 1 that smells of, it's called Yuzu, clean with a peel. And the other one is wild mint. Interesting. So this is what I typically use, not the mint, but like soak is what I typically use as wool wash, just because it's what I know. It's what I've seen so often. And yeah. So yeah, this you just put in with your wool, let it soak for like 15-20 minutes. Obviously, cold water, so that it doesn't get weird or shrink, because that would just be tragic. You put so much work into this. Look, it matches my shirt. Don't shrink your things. And the other thing that she sent me, the last thing that she sent me, I love these little tags. So I know that they're in French. So the first one says, knit with love, and a couple of swear words. And the other one says, dry or used. What's that word? Hang on, dry or used. Inheritance taken away. There we go. Dry or used, inheritance taken away. So do not draw. Anyways, so that is it for acquisitions for this time. I do have something else coming. I will show that in the next episode if it's here, obviously. But yeah, so that was it for all of my creative stuff. On to my job stuff. So like I said, I'm a dental hygienist. I'm in my second year of practice. I am very passionate about education, and I know that a lot of people are really nervous to come see us, or we're literally the worst place they could feel like they are at that time. I am always one that's going to try and make you as comfortable as possible. I hope that all of my patients or clients communicate with me when they're feeling uncomfortable, when are you going to come see me? Sorry, Mitz might make an appearance. Oh, hello, pretty girl. But yeah, I will do everything in my power to make a person feel welcome and comfortable, in hopes that they communicate with me. I never judge for telling the truth. So obviously when I say, hey, how often do you floss? If they say never, I'm like, cool, I know what to expect now. And if they say once a day and then I see a lot of bleeding, I'll be like, maybe not. Maybe you're not using the right technique. So I will re-demonstrate technique. I'm that pain in the butt. But one thing that I wanted to talk about today, I know that I said what I wanted to talk about this time, but that's not where I want to go. So kids, when you're bringing your kids to the dentist, if it's not their first time and you trust the staff that you're going to, let the kid go with them, because if you're nervous, they're nervous. Not the staff, but your kid. They can feel that nervousness and the worry and the panic and the if that's your situation, let them go with the hygienist or the dentist by themselves. It kind of tells them it's okay. You don't need me in there with you. It's okay. You can trust these people. I trust them. You can trust them. Other thing is that it will let them communicate with us when they're uncomfortable. When they have questions, they will voice them instead of feeling intimidated. I don't want to say intimidated. Words. I just feel like the communication is better when the parent isn't there. If I like a lot of the time I'll scrape a tooth and be like, hey, so this is a lot of bacteria for one tooth. Like I'll literally show them. I'll take my instrument over one of their teeth and I'll show them. And I'll be like, bruh, ew, what is this? I find that always helps. Or if it's like somewhere further back, I'll sometimes take a picture. I feel like it's more of a communication between me and the kid or teen or whatever. And they'll tell me a lot more if you're not there. I don't even go in the room when my kids get their dentistry stuff done, because I know that they'll they'll react more if it's with me. Best example is my oldest daughter. When she was younger, she had a baby tooth that just wouldn't come out because the adult tooth was behind it, which is something that frequently happens. So if this is something that happens to your kid, it's completely normal. If the adult tooth is like more than halfway up the baby tooth, maybe you can see your dentist and see if it needs to get taken out. So I was in the room with her, and when the dentist went to go freeze her, she screamed like a banshee. Like, oh my God. I thought someone was gonna kill her. You could have sworn that somebody was holding a knife at her and being like, I'm gonna kill you if you don't tell me your ABCs right now. So since that time, I learned my lesson, and every other time that she's had a procedure done, because she's had a bunch of dental things pop up, she went in with the dentist herself and barely squeaked, and then came out and was like, yeah, it was fine. Okay, cool. So yeah, kids react way different when parents are there and when parents aren't there. And I'm not saying that this is a reflection on your parenting. It's not a reflection on mine. It's not a reflection on yours either. In Quebec, age of consent is actually 14. So if the teenager is 14 or up, I need to ask their permission to communicate things to their parent, which to me is weird. What do you want me to say? But I actually need their verbal consent, and I have to document that as well. If they don't want me talking to you, I need to trust that they're going to communicate whatever needs to get done, so they can have it done and not be in pain. But anyways, if you do go in the room with them because they absolutely insist that you be there, if like your 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old completely insists that you be there, make sure that they're the one talking to us. So if we say, hey, how are you? And it's you who answers, it's not so helpful to us. It doesn't create a bond. It doesn't create a trust. It doesn't, it doesn't work. It's like when you go to the hospital and the doctor says, so since when have you been having this pain? And you're like, oh, since yesterday. And you're like, actually it was since last week. That vital information sometimes can be important. Yeah. So just like, I know it's hard. I'm not a helicopter mom, but I do protect my little chicks. And I know how hard it can be to just let them talk. Because sometimes they look at me and they're like, I don't know what the answer is. I'm like, yes, you do. You know what the answer is. How are you? Tell the person. What hurts? Since when has it hurt? How does it hurt? Scale 1 to 10. Like, you don't know that. They know that. So yeah, that's my little rant about, okay, it doesn't rant, but that's my advice for kids at the dentist. Please just try and let them go by themselves. Encourage them to go by themselves. And if you do have to go in, let them communicate, please. So that's it. I actually, back to knitting something. I'm currently looking for a pattern for my husband. I want to knit him his first knit sweater by me. He is totally knit worthy. The thing is that he always tells me, like, I'd be afraid to wear it. I'd be afraid to, I'm like, I've been wearing this constantly and it hasn't broken. And even if it does, I can fix it. It doesn't matter. It's just a material thing. Wear it. So if you have any man sweater suggestions. Either V-neck or like something that he can fold and that it's not like all the way up here. Like, yeah, show me what you have. Show me what you like. I'll be more than happy to, I'll take all and every suggestion. I don't automatically want to go towards like the petite knit zipper one, even though gorgeous, but I want to see what's out there. I want to see what you suggest. Link the Ravelry down below. So where can you find me? You can find me on Instagram at Shauna Toothy Knits. You can find me on Ravelry, Shauna Toothy Knits, and obviously here. I hope that you have an amazing week. Please floss at least 3 to 4 times a week. That'll make your gums so much more healthy. And I will see you next time.